The topic of religion in the schools has been highly contested for as long as I can remember. People of all ages in North America have heard about the separation of church and state. But with the constantly changing tapestry of religious diversity in Canada, what does this look like? For many in the city-centered public school system, that has begun to look like an off-limits topic. Teachers are careful not to promote their personal religion in any way. In fact, they try not to bring it up at all. Religious classes offered at the high school level are few, and those that exist in the public school system are not heavily attended. In my experience, I have seen a divide between the general public schools and the self-identified religious private schools. According to the Manitoba Public Schools Act, public schools shall be non-sectarian and no religious exercises shall be allowed therein except as provided in this section. The section goes on to discuss how certain amount of people are needed from the community in order to request that religion be a part of the school, in which case optional religious exploration and guidance can occur. In rural areas, it is more common than the city to find public schools that have voted in favor of optional religious experiences such as morning prayer. Should this change? Many of the articles that I have read seem to lead to the same concept. Public school is for everyone. These sort of prayers can make students who don't share these beliefs feel isolated or different. This issue hit close to home when the CBC did an article in June of 2015 titled Rewriting Winnipeg School Division Religious Instruction Bylaw an Insult to Parents. This article states, "The trustees want a single-word alteration in Section 80. The section currently says, if a petition requesting that religious instruction be given in a school is presented to the school board and is signed by the parents or guardians of at least 25 children, the school board shall pass a bylaw authorizing instruction in religion in compliance with the petition." The change would reword it to say, the school board may pass a bylaw. The argument is that the school board should not have the power to say no to these groups of parents should they vote for religious instruction according to the law. The article reads, "If parents request religious instruction for their children outside of class time in compliance with the law, and every child attends only with their parents' full knowledge and consent, what right does a board of trustees have to say no?" The Public School Act, as it stands, carries a beautiful legacy of honoring parents' values, regardless of whether they are held by the majority or not. As parents, we need to stand together to ensure this legacy carries on. The most common arguments for religion in schools are it creates a greater sense of harmony, a positive feeling of community, an emphasis of core values, a support of religious freedom, and a well-rounded education. The most common arguments against religion in the schools are separation of church and state, students may feel excluded, and it distorts the notion that school is for everyone. These ideas led me to the topic of Indigenous perspectives and the large push from the government to incorporate these perspectives in the classroom. Through both research and personal conversations with citizens of the Indigenous community, it was emphasized to me that although there are spiritual aspects and movements that can be incorporated in the Indigenous learnings, those acts, such as smudging or prayer, are always optional and are intended to expose children to culture rather than convert them to a way of living. There are many cultural aspects of Indigenous perspectives that would not be identified as religious or even spiritual. These can be brought into the classroom. An example of these perspectives are sharing, equality, kindness, and a connection or appreciation of nature. These values can also be found in the religions of Buddhists, Catholics, Muslims, and many more. Through this exploration of religion in the public school system, I have developed my own perspective. If we view spiritual or religious experiences in the school holistically, from the perspective of building cultural understanding and appreciation, then I believe no harm can be done. I cannot think of any situation where we, as educators, would want to limit the cultural appreciation of our youth. These students represent the future of our world, our country, our society, our families. With everything going on in the world right now, I can say that I'm proud to be Canadian, to be but a small piece in one of the most beautifully diverse, open, and understanding countries in the world. In my opinion, religion absolutely does have a place in the public school. Sure, it's a fine line between preaching and exploring, but to me, the benefits of optional prayer, learning, and perspectives strengthen our students' connection to the world around them. It does not isolate them.